and any kind of pavement or anything like that, we had a natural green space. And the way that the earth functions is that when the rain falls, it falls onto the land, it soaks into the soil and goes into the ground and into the roots of the plants and trees. And then the trees take that up and breathe it back up into the air. And so then it goes up into the clouds and comes back down as rain. So you guys know your general water cycle. That's what we're dealing with. So if we talk about what's a watershed, watershed is the area of land surrounding a body of water that drains into it when it rains. So it's a topographical boundary. The high points in the land are the edges of the boundaries, and the low point is where that water is collected. So when it's raining, it comes down into the base of that watershed. So if you make your hands like a cup, you're basically, if I sprayed your hands with water, the water would flow downhill into the crack between there. So that's the same shape as a watershed. That's what we're talking about. If you look at this picture, this is a fairly natural watershed. You can really see that the rain is falling down. It would hit the trees and the plants, and it would flow down into this creek, and that's, again, a crack between your hands at the bottom there. When the rain is falling, it's really taken up by the leaves, it's taken up by the soil, it's taken up by all the different things that are there, and then breathed back up. If we go to an urban watershed, which is this picture, we have a whole different scenario, which is, if you look at this picture, it's the same, pretty much the same shape. You can't quite see the valley quite as much, but you can see there are high points up here, and the lowest point, again, is our river that runs through the middle. But in this case, we have a whole bunch of other things on the land. We have all kinds of pavement, we have streets, we have buildings, we have parking lots, basketball courts, we have all kinds of things there that are impervious surfaces. So they're surfaces that can't take up water. It's a capped area. So when the water falls, instead of soaking into the land like it normally would, it's now flowing off of these surfaces and into the creek or river directly. There's a bunch of problems with that. One of the problems is dirt and pollution. So all these streets and all these buildings and things there's all kinds of gross things that are on there, right? So anybody who throws a chip bag on the ground, any salt from your car, any motor oil, anything that you put on your lawn, any pesticides, that's all flowing in that rainwater into the gutters, into the and eventually into the stream. One thing that people don't often realize is that the storm drains on your street are actually connected to these creeks. So anything that goes onto the creek, onto the street, is ending up in the stream. The other problem is the volume of water. So when we started all of this, before we paved anything, there's an enormous amount of water that's actually being soaked up into the land and into the plants. What we've done really is taken away the plants and then covered over the land. So that whole system of filtering and cleaning water and absorbing it is gone. So what we have now instead is this capped surface that can't absorb the water. And so that water is now running directly into the creeks without being